Welcome back, my ad riding friends. I'm back at the dealer again pretty soon after the 890 R review. I heard that they have the 1290 Super Adventure R, the 2021 model, in here today. So let's have a look at that. I also see a 850 GS over there. Could that be something? I don't know.
Tändning till. Startstopp.
Ja.
Driving motorn då. Vad ska man lägga? Road, Dynamic, Enduro, Race.
Det kan man byta on the fly då. Fräckt.
Bara frikoppla när du kör.
Ja.
Ställer den på Dynamic så är det som snabbast gasrespons på.
Ja.
Värmeantagarna sätter du på i den då.
Ja.
Fjädringen sen. Det ligger ju på en förare och så ett dynamiskt fjädringssystem.
Ja, just det.
Och då ställer du bara det med den knappen där. Om skulle man vilja ändra här.
Ja, just om man har packning eller före då.
ABSen går att stänga av, eller antispinnen går att stänga av. ABSen går inte att stänga av från nya.
Ja, kan låta dem vara på.
Ja. Sen är det, skulle du trilla ner i menyerna så är det trycka uppåt så kommer du hela vägen tillbaka till start.
Ja, just det.
Farthållaren är väldigt enkelt, det är bara sätt och reset. Du bryter den på samma sätt som på vilken du gasrullen åt fel håll. Hoppning eller brott. Rutan är ju bara, det är två lägen, det är två fasta lägen.
Ja, vad bra. Smidigt.
Ja.
Det är som vanligt med BMW att allting är ganska intuitivt och fina knappar och system.
SS-funktionen, skulle den gå igång så ser det ut så här.
Okej.
Den går, håller du in i knappen så cancellerar du den bara.
Ja.
Skulle det vara så att det kanske inte att den går iväg hela vägen till callcenter så måste man ha med hjälmen. Så finns det högtalare och mikrofon så kan man prata med dem.
Ja, just det. Det är fantastiskt.
Växelassistansen är ju mer plus du har ju bättre nytta.
Ja, det är quick shift då, eller?
Samma sätt som du har
På KTM egentligen. Ja, vad bra. Vad spännande. Det ska bli väldigt roligt att testa då. Häftigt. Ja, tack Christer. What's happening here is that we have a test ride on the BMW 850 GS Rallye, the 2021 model. Christer here at Bike, he just walked through the functions in the menu and set it up for me so I could test it probably like I would like to ride it. So let's take a ride and compare it to my beloved 790R over there. Alright, so here I am on the forest trail with the new BMW 850 GS Rallye. Really interesting ride, and compared to my KTM 790R. When I pulled away with the bike, immediately I could feel like the engine is more like on the 890R, the KTM 890R. This BMW is very smooth in the bottom end and pulls strongly. Compared to the 790 I have, it's the same amount of horsepower. Picks up speed good and pulls good in the gears. No chugging, what I felt. You can easily keep it in a gear or so, and it's very dynamic. As well, I felt the suspension, it feels pretty decent, better than I thought actually on this bike. It has the dynamic suspension. I think the travel is like 200 to 220 millimeters. You can write below if I got that wrong. It's a 43 millimeter fork. Does look a lot weaker than on my KTM. There is some differences that I felt immediately when sitting on the bike. Even if the suspension seems decent for this kind of riding, gravel roads and forest tracks like this. One difference is the rear wheel that is a 17-inch, like BMW has on their larger adventure bikes, even if it's adventure bikes. As I said, it has dynamic suspension, so you can do different settings in the menus. I had it set up as dynamic and one-up rider. I have not been riding BMW since I sold my 1200 GS Adventure I had years ago. Really nice touring and adventure bikes. Absolutely. This one as well, I felt. Something that I recognized from the 1200 is the controls for the brake and for a shift lever. They are not meant to be used with motocross boots at all. Then you have to adjust this because you don't have room for a motocross boot in there. Simple as that. On my KTM, it's more roomy in that type of controls, so it's suited for motocross boots, and that's what I ride with. So this is typical for adventure type of boot stock. This small foot pegs also differs, but that's a matter of preferences, of course. Really nice looking bike, and it felt very nice to ride as well. And when we get to the controls, it's like BMW always have had it. It's very nice and tidy, and the quality feel of the buttons, and they are set up in a very good way. The ride modes was very easy to handle on the fly with this button, and that's great. Really nice original heated grips as well. A very clear display compared to my KTM 790. So as always, BMW has a very nice layout of controls. I was not really used to the riding position of this bike, and the seating is a little bit lower than on mine, but that's fine when you're in here in the forest actually, when you should turn around and so on. The tires it comes with is good for touring, a little bit flimsy for off-road, of course. Most adventure bikes has that type of setup when you get them out of the floor. I know that these dimensions 21/17 is also available for a lot of different off-road tires. Very nice engine sound, I must say. Let's fire it up. Handling on road is of course a very, very interesting thing, because that's where many of us ride to and from the adventure, or at the long adventure. You have to ride a lot of on road. I'm not sure if the handling was any better than the KTM 790R. I would have thought so, but I couldn't feel that actually. it feels like it's have a higher center of gravity that you also feel when you ride it somewhat. I don't know how much fuel it is this. I could imagine with a full of fuel, 15 liters by the way of fuel. Not very much for an adventure bike, but I know that there is an adventure model. I know that there is an adventure model as well with 24 liter gas tank. So that's also preference where you ride and so on. One thing that I like is that you have a quick adjuster for the screen. You can just adjust it on the fly. I had it on the high position when I rode here, and I must say not much of a difference from my KTM 790R that is known for having a lot of wind noise. I didn't feel that this was better actually. I expected that as well. Okay, I don't know what more to say. I was surprised actually. I kind of liked it. Liked the engine. It felt powerful and in the dynamic position, snatchy. Delivered the power as expected. One thing is that it stalled very easy when you turn around and you have it on on idle and you should go off in a turnaround. It stalls as easy as the KTM 790R. So the 890R actually felt better in that way. More. It didn't stall at all. I managed to stall this I think 4 or 5 times already in low maneuvers, in low speed maneuvers and turnarounds, and that's pretty annoying actually. But a nice bike. Price wise it's somewhat steep compared to the KTM. I think it was like 190,000 crowns compared to let's say 150 and a tad more if you want the tech pack on the 890R. Okay, that was my thought on this bike. Not bad at all. Rather nice. A little bit more top heavy than mine. I think it's 230 kilos fully fueled up. It had more weight than I have on the KTM. Yeah, but definitely a bike in the game for this kind of adventures in the forest and on the gravel roads and so on. All right, I have to ride back and pick up my bike. I think I'm going to have not a small cup of coffee, a very large cup of coffee in the forest. But that will be the next video. So I think this was all. See you on the next one. Oh, I forgot to say, the quick shifter is not even compared to the KTM one. Not even close. Okay, I almost forgot here. The brakes. If you like to brake a lot or like them to work as they should, the brakes are actually a lot better on this 850 GS than on my KTM 790R. And for the matter as well, I think the 890R, I didn't test them that much. And thumbs up for the controls again. They're very intuitive and nice controls to work with while you're riding. They're nice. And of course the competitor is the 890R from KTM. Tack för lånet Christer.
Tack där, gick det bra?
Du är jättebra, kanonfin cykel.
Ja.
Det tycker jag. Visa belysningen Anders. Oj. Ah, gött. Nice edition. Ja, snyggt. Den här byter du inte bort i första taget, eller Anders?
Nej, det kostar många pengar att byta bort.
Ja, så är det. De verkar trött på det här inne på bike.
Ja, de har gett upp nu. Problemet är att man säljer en hoj och så köper man ingen annan. Men jag köpte en GS förresten.
Ja, jag hörde det.
Ja, jag får något att finåka med.
Då blir de ännu gladare när man köper en till bara.
Ja,
Ja, det är bra.
så gör vi. Ha det bra.
Ja, ha det.